Know thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them from me.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Middle Tennessee and examining current events from a biblical perspective, this is Bible News Radio with your hosts, Randall and Stacy Harp.
All right, hey everybody. Hello people. Hey, sorry we're a few minutes late. Periscope was giving us some connectivity issues, but that's okay. Hey everybody, thanks for coming in to this super edition of Free for All Friday. I am your sweet, lovable host, just in case you were wondering, Stacy Lynn Harp, and I am here today with my sweet, lovable, hunky, handsome husband, Bareface. Yeah, I am. There he is.
It's not my real name, but I am here.
But it is
Position is right.
It's actually amazing how many people call him Bareface. I don't know how you people decided all of a sudden to take it upon yourself to call him Bareface. You never asked my permission.
Because that's what you call me all the time.
But, yeah. I know, but see, now everybody calls you Bareface. It's no longer special to me. I have to come up with another name for you. CBEE. There you go.
Okay. Enough said.
That's a secret. You guys don't know what that means, and you never will. Anyway, hey, if you're new to the show, I want to say thank you for tuning in. We broadcast here every day, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time, and, you know, we love it. We have lots of different guests on the show, usually very interesting people like we did yesterday. We had Dr. Michael Heiser on talking about his book about angels, and if you guys didn't see that show, make sure you go back and watch it. Couple days prior, we had on a lovely lady talking about how to deal with sexual abuse, childhood sexual abuse. It's a big, huge problem, people. Yeah, it is. God hates it. So, just want you to know, you can go watch that episode. And every Friday, we have what we call Free for All Friday. We made it up. If anybody else, you ever hear them saying that term, Free for All Friday, they didn't make it up. This is my term. We've been doing this for years. Just so you know, I'm a little partial to it. And today, we have our special guest, Mia Chapa, aka Linda, aka Superhero Paramedic. I always say, hey, the Superhero Paramedic is in the house, and she is. She got here early, which was super cool. Drove 5,000 miles an hour to get here to see us, because tomorrow we're going to dunk her in some water and get her baptized in Jesus' name, and it's going to be fun. We were actually talking about it earlier. So we are... So,
I don't know if this is going to work very well.
You should put Superhero Paramedic. See, she's so short.
I made a booster seat.
That's right, anyway. It works. There you go.
But then...
There you go. Okay, can you see yourself?
Well, no, not yet. I don't have it up.
Go.
That's preview window, just so you know.
Oh, that's the preview Okay, gotcha. All right, I need to look over here. There we go. All right, so Melanie said Superhero Paramedic SHP.
All right, and there she is, hiding behind all sorts of stuff from this view.
That's because she's short. I was just telling her before the show, she's like inch high private eye, because she's this big. She's like short size. No, fun size. I actually have a t-shirt that says that. Did I show you that t-shirt that I have?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
Hey, I'm fun size too, just so you know. I'm not that much taller than her. But anyway, so today what we're going to do, I don't know what it is. Every day at 4 o'clock, the dogs decide they want to bark. We just need some music in the background for them. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and share this out over on Facebook. Are we on Facebook yet?
We should be.
Yes, we are. Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm going to go ahead and turn down the volume and all that. So if you're new to the show, one of the things that we do on Friday is Free for All Friday, which is what we actually, we talk about pretty much anything on Friday. And so, but today is a special episode because we have Mia here with us, and we are on air. Wait, I gotta spell that right. Live with @Mia. I'm gonna tag you, Mia.
On
Chip.
Facebook?
Yeah. All right. And we think this is kind of cool. I actually personally think this is cool. I was thinking about this earlier today. 3.5 years ago, give or take, Periscope came to life. Twitter came to, did Periscope. And Randall and I, we kind of downloaded the app, and then all of a sudden we started broadcasting, right? And community began to build. A lot of a lot of us have been together for like over 3 years, right? And one afternoon, I get this message from Mia, who's sitting over here to my right, and and it was a really personal message. She was sharing a little bit about her life story and a whole bunch of other stuff. And anyway, make a long story short, we ended up. I really wanted to say, to make a long story short, like you.
Hey now, careful.
Anyway, to make a long story short, like us. How's that? Because I'm
Society swap you around because.
Yeah, we ended up meeting, and she told me how she found Bible News Radio. So you tell me how you found our show, because this is just a God thing, and I think it's a pretty funny story. All you guys coming in, so yeah.
All right, so I got this pop up on my phone, said Bible News Radio, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, so I swiped it.
It's up this falls.
And then probably four more times I got it, and on the fourth one I opened it up, and I've been hooked ever since. Learning, not hooked, but.
So it took you 4 times to actually want to watch us.
Yeah, I deleted it the first 3 times.
I love it.
What is this, Paris? What is Bible News Radio?
You don't even know how you found, like, we.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know who sent it to me.
So, and it's weird because all of you in here at some point found our show. How? Literally only God knows, right? I mean, only God knows how you actually found the show. Right. So it took 4 times. Do you remember the first show that you watched, or what the topic was, that why you got hooked?
I do not.
No?
No.
Really?
It must have been the Israel thing.
Huh.
Had to be.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't. We were going over the Bible. You were going over, gosh, was it Proverbs? The book of Proverbs?
We might have been. Yeah. Boy, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were actually studying the Bible, and so that actually is kind of attracted you to what we were doing. Very cool. See, all right, so tell everybody a little bit about your background, though, as a what your religious background is.
I was raised Catholic, and eventually I wised up because there's some things in the Catholic Church that I didn't agree with, and I left the church, and here I am now.
Yeah. So how has our show, though, helped you in your faith? Because I remember, I guess at that time we were doing, I think it was Daily Disciples, and our goal was to actually get people in God's Word every single day, because that's, like, it's a challenge for people.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Especially in your career, or, it's hard to, unless you have it on your phone, it's hard to sit down and, between writing charts and healing people or saving lives or whatever.
Yeah. Just save. See how nonchalant she is about this. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so then there came a point when you actually wanted to meet us, and you drove down here. Was it last year? It was last year, wasn't it? Or was it like
2 years ago?
It was 2 years? It's been 2 years since I've seen you?
I think so.
Wow. Was it like 2 years ago we dyed our hair pink? Because that was...
Was it 2 years ago?
I don't know. Facebook.
2016?
Saw you and your husband. Was amazed. You both have very nice eyes. Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that a lot. I didn't have anything to do with my eyes, but thank you for letting me know that. Okay, so Mia came down then. No, you know what? I think you're right. I think it was 2 years ago. Wow, it's been 2 years. It doesn't even seem like it, honestly. So Mia came down, and it was 2 years ago. I remember because Vicky interviewed me about my testimony, and she was asking people to tweet out a certain thing, and then I decided to do the pink hair challenge. When we got pink hairspray or whatever, pink paint, we put it in our hair. Even Randall got in on that. He actually even, did you put pink? I can't remember, Randall.
No.
Maybe you put the blonde, right? It was like the goldish stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
more of a gold.
So this is the thing. So tomorrow we're gonna get the honor of baptizing Mia through immersion. Even though you're baptized, you're sprinkled Catholic like I was. So what made you come to the decision to actually get baptized?
I wanted to do it like the authentic way, the way they did it in the river. You know, I just didn't think that being baptized Catholic was legit. You know what I mean? It wasn't. There's a lot of corrupt stuff in the Catholic Church right now. I'm not knocking it down. I'm just saying this is my opinion. But you hear every day what's going on in the Catholic Church, and you read the Bible, and they're doing what they're not supposed to be doing. So
yeah. Well, the thing about, and if you're new to the show, you know, I do my best not to really bash any denomination or anything. I will call stuff out, as people know. I have no problem doing that. But the thing about baptism is that you have to be able to make an open profession of your faith and who Christ is, right? And so as a baby, you can't do that. Like, you know, I was baptized as a baby into the Catholic, you know, from the priest at the Catholic Church, and I was given my first communion when I was 7. And I didn't understand that, even though, I mean, I was a little kid. I don't know, whatever. All I knew is that God existed. That was the extent of my understanding being Catholic. It wasn't until I became a follower of Christ in high school and I started reading the Bible that I actually got it. And so in Romans chapter 6, you know, it talks about how, you know, we are being buried with Christ and we're being raised to walk in newness of life. And so that's why we're doing what we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're not sure yet the time. Probably, I don't know, probably morning though, right? You think?
probably.
Because we're going to play pickleball after, I think. Do you want to play pickleball first or do it after?
Well, it depends if I injure myself or not, you know.
Oh, yeah, you won't injure yourself.
Sometimes I'm a giraffe, even though I'm like the size of a koala bear.
A mini pony.
Yeah, there you go. Miniature pony.
There you go.
Fun size.
They're cute.
Size.
Look at that. It's like this thing is covering half her face.
Yeah, I know.
She's so short.
It's all right.
I
Oh, you can call me Wilson.
the mic stand doesn't go down any further, so
That's the best line. You can call me Wilson. Tomorrow when I baptize you, I'll say, okay, Wilson, do you? Is this your God-given name in the Protestant church? Do you take Wilson? Mia Linda Chapa, or Linda Mia Chapa. That's the other thing. Mia's real name is not Mia.
Correct.
It's Linda. But you want to tell them why?
It's my birth name.
Yeah.
My dad is Hispanic and my mom is white. And my dad calls me Mija.
Huh.
So he's always has. He calls my sister that, my brother Mijo, because he's a boy, you know. There's a boy and there's a girl, you know. And we worked both at sort of woodworking in our hometown, and he'd come visit me. And, hey, Mija, how's it going? I'm like, oh, yeah, you know. And then the people that I work with reversed it and called it Mia. And this was clear back in, I'm not going to say how long ago it was because that'll show my true age. But, yeah.
Yeah, you're so old. She's not old at all.
I'm catching up to you. And you. But it's stuck ever since.
I think
so.
he's got at least 10 years on you.
He does?
Yeah, probably.
He's going to be 55 next year.
Next week, next
It'll
year,
be
whatever.
it'll be like that. We'll go blink and there it is.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. And also I should say publicly, Mia actually does support our show. She is a pillar of the community. Actually has been very, very faithful in support and helping us with the show. And that actually means a lot to us. I mean, as you know, you've been here to our house. It's improved a little since you were here.
It's huge, though.
This
room is...
It's a big house. Yeah. And, well, I mean, it's a big house for 2 people for sure. But we were very blessed. We only paid $140,000 for this house.
Not bad.
So, yeah. But that was only because we moved from California to here. And, that was the profit on our house in California. California is super expensive. And the house we had in California is half the size of this one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot smaller. And what's really interesting, too, hey, Clark, is that since we have lived here in Middle Tennessee and since we've been on Periscope, we've had the blessing of having people come down from Ohio, which is where you're from. She got here in record time, by the way. What, 6 hours? Oh, she's not really here. She's in Ohio right now. But other people have come down here from Ohio. Texas, Colorado, Virginia, and Australia. Beth, you remember Beth?
Yep.
Beth came from Australia. So that's 5 different states that have actually visited us here. And I actually think a couple other states may possibly. We might become an Airbnb. I actually was looking at that today. How many of you guys have thought about doing Airbnb? Have you thought about that?
Doing what?
Airbnb. Make your house an Airbnb. You can make.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
You can make some good money.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and you can rent out a room or your whole house. You can be there when the people show up or whatever.
I think that depends on if you got to cook for them or not.
Well, you can actually decide.
I don't want to cook.
And yeah, last time you were here, you did cook me.
Oh, yeah, I did.
She did. She cooked me chorizo and eggs. It was super good, too. You've used it. Aaron has used it. By the way, we should say hi, everybody. Aaron is in the room. Aaron, Marlene is here. Melanie, of course, our still #1 super fan. Nobody's ever going to top Melanie. Angie's here. And it looks like a couple of trolls are in here as well. I don't know who else is here, but glad that you're here. Quite a few people on Facebook. Clark was there. Kim is there. Kim is your superhero nurse.
She's my mentor.
Aw. I know she was supposed to come too, and she's got a baby to deal with. I've used it. Okay, that's a bot right there. All right, so here's the thing. Mia's going to be our guest tomorrow. We're going to baptize her probably in the morning. I'm going to think between 10 and 11. Hey, John, nice to see you in there. Central Time. We're going to go to a pool, and we're going to do it there on an undisclosed location. So what we will do is we will text message our list. So if you're not on my text message list, text the term Bible News to 33222, and we're going to live stream it, hopefully. Barring anything like, anything that happens like, technical internet issues or anything like that, right? So we're going to do that. So I will text it out, and I'll let you know. Then you guys can be ready.
I'm ready.
Are you excited?
I am.
Yeah.
Very excited.
You are, I can tell. We were talking earlier. Let's take a survey. We were talking earlier. Should I dunk her like this, like dunk her under, or should I dip her? Let's take a vote. Put a 1 for a dip and put a 2 for a dunk. Just saying. Hey, running for Zion. Haven't seen you in a while. I know, Aaron isn't excited. Well, we were talking about, I don't want to drown her. That would not be good. But fortunately, I think a lifeguard will be available. I'll be like, what are you guys doing? Well, we're making a movie about baptism. This is a thing. Okay, so 1 was dip, right? And 2 was dunk, right? Okay, everybody says 1. Are you going to vote?
Dip?
Yeah, dip or dunk. Yeah. Dip. Oh, yeah. That's your vote?
That's my vote.
Gotcha. Okay. 1 and 2. Of course, there's always somebody that does that. Okay. Death by baptism. Actually, it is kind of, in a sense, it's kind of like, when you're buried in Christ, that's what we are as believers. We're buried in Christ, and then we are raised to walk in newness of life. It's not a Carnival Stacy, LOL, no donkey. No, we were talking because she's so short, we just wanted to, and I'm short, so that's the thing, we just might get, I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. But anyway, it'll be fun. All right, so before we go any further, I want to remind you all that we actually did sell all of our angel books from Dr. Michael Heiser. So go over to Amazon or wherever and get the book, because I know you guys like that. Also, we still have 2 of these packs left of these books. The Doug Hershey's book, the Christian's Biblical Guide to Understanding Israel, which is like 100 pages, and then this book on prayer, Fearless Prayer, Why We Don't Ask and Why We Should, for $15. If you guys want to support our show, we'll go ahead and put this in the mail to you too. I'm going to be mailing stuff out probably early next week, so put your order in this weekend. That way I can mail it to you like Tuesday, I think is probably when I do my mailing. All right, so there's that. And or if you want this one alone, $9, and it's free shipping, so I can just put this in the mail to you too. Get that. Order it through our website. Just mention when you order it what it is you want. And then we actually have some other books too. But for now, we'll do this until we're out of them. And also, do not forget that Ariel Ministries is our sponsor. This month, the Bible study we're giving away is called Satanology. Doesn't that get your attention? Yeah, it does. So Satanology, it's all about who Satan is, what he does, all that stuff. It's a very interesting study. You can download it for free. It's like 37 pages, something like that. Just download it for free over at BibleNewsRadio.com. And then you can also get anything pretty much in the store over at Ariel.org with the coupon code Bible News. In fact, today I got my DVD set about the Israel Geography Tour. You guys got to see this. It's going to be super good. I mean, if you've never been to Israel, first of all, it's super expensive to go there. Have you been there? You haven't been there yet, have you? Nope. Oh, yeah. It'd be a dream to go to Israel. Maybe we could do it with Ezra Adventures, Doug Hersey's thing, do an adventure tour in Israel. Anyway, it's a fun place to go. If you like California, you'll like Israel. California is desert just like Israel. I mean, literally, it looks like California, except when you're in Jerusalem around the Wailing Wall and all that. Or the
yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wailing Wall, Western Wall, whatever.
Whatever. When you're there, when you stand where Jesus stood, you're like, yeah, here I am. Now that I know I'm Jewish, next time I go, I'll be like, oh wow, I'm home after all. Why do I feel so short? It always looks like you're cutting my head off. There.
Talk about short.
Oh.
Really? Did you really say that?
No.
Did you watch the movie that has minions in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of it.
I didn't.
I like the one that has the be-do, be-do, be-do on his head. The siren. Or the light.
Speaking of that, do you think you could tell a story about that kid that lost his arm?
I can say a little bit about it.
Yeah. Okay, so Mia is actually a life flight paramedic, which is no easy job. How did you get into that, right? And you're also a trained firefighter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she is. So if my house gets on fire and I have a heart attack or anything this weekend, I'm safe because...
And make sure you change your batteries in your alarm.
Yeah. And she knows how to shoot a gun. You were in the military too, right?
FEMA.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
It's part of the military.
Okay.
They go out and do the medical aspect of everything.
Only.
Or try to.
Just the medical aspect. She's so humble.
We would build portable hospitals out of tents and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And that's how we would treat our patients.
Huh.
So.
Cool. All right. So one day you went to work. So you actually... Erin says, I was trained to firefight in the Navy. It's tough. Yeah, she's also a vet too. Erin is. And she's also a member of Legal Shield too. And you guys rock. You're part of my team. Okay, but so one day Mia was telling me this crazy story that happened at her job. And this is an amazing testimony. You guys got to hear this. I always call her a superhero paramedic. Once you hear this story, you'll understand why I call her that. And she's like, no, I'm not a superhero paramedic. But
It's daily work.
what got you interested in doing paramedic stuff? Because there's no way in the world you could catch me ever doing it, because I'd pass out.
Well, we used to go camping all the time, and you know, you have the fire pit and stuff, and one of the little ones kind of fell in towards it, just the hands part, and I knew exactly what to do. And then all my friends are like, you should go join the fire department and da 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 da, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And just one day out of the blue, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go sign up, and I did. And I started out as a firefighter first, and then I did my EMT, and then shortly, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 years, I did the medic part of it. Absolutely love it. It's a lot of work, a lot of studying.
I know.
Takes up a lot of your time, but I love it.
So how did you get into being a life flight? Because like in the world of paramedics, isn't that like you deal with like the most traumatic people?
Yes. When you, it's very hard to get into that career. You know, I started out as an EMT first, working on a local fire department, not my home fire department, but a local one.
Mm-hmm.
And they had applications for EMTs. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to sign up for it and see if I get it. And I got it. And then shortly, probably about a year into it, I decided to do my medic.
It's all the way up, Randall.
The very top one?
Okay.
Oh, no. Top.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, there's a buzz.
There's a buzz, but at least we'll hear you.
Okay.
You can take your headset off. You don't need it.
Can I hear it?
Yeah.
That was a crazy question. Like, can I hear you if I take them off?
I took my headset off. The
'Cause-
only reason I use my headset now is to listen to the music if we're playing anything out there that I need to
Okay.
hear. Yeah,
Gotcha.
you don't need it. Save your hearing.
All right,
Yeah,
sounds
I had-
good.
After one of the shows, I had this buzz in my ear. I was like, no, I can't do that again.
And then online producing here, if you on the third channel, Stace, in the tone control, which is 2 up, the bottom green.
This one?
Yeah, turn that all the way down. That'll help a little bit.
Is it buzzing?
I don't know.
Yeah, but the lower frequency is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you're talking about how you eventually got into
Yeah. I
being
transitioned.
flying in helicopters.
Yeah.
Is it fun to fly in a helicopter?
Except for windy days.
Yeah.
You kind of go up like that. But it's, yeah. Actually, you're sidetracked on that you're actually flying. For me, it's no different than being in a truck versus a plane or anything else, because you're focused on that patient.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've had a patient where we got called to a local factory in my hometown. I wasn't actually at my full-time job, which is Life Flight. I was at my hometown and got a call for an injured person. Once you're en route, they give you a little bit more information on what's going on with the patient, and they said it was an amputation. Well, I'm thinking, it's just a finger. You know, that's most common. And then they come back with a arm amputation. I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking between the wrist and the elbow, you know.
Right.
That's easy to take care of. So,
Piece of cake.
yeah. And then they come back and you can hear the stress in the dispatcher saying it's a full arm amputation. And by hearing what she's saying and how she's saying it, kind of like how my voice is nervous right now, that's how she was.
Yeah.
She was nervous because by that tone, I know the scene is chaos. So it's probably a little bit worse than what I'm thinking. So I'm like, I glove up, get on scene, and I don't want to run. I'm just trying to think what's got to be done. So I'm walking up, and everybody's just this way, hurry up, and and I get on scene, and it kind of threw me back for a second, because our body has probably about 6 liters of blood in it. He probably had about 3 liters of blood on the ground and everywhere. So we get there, and the police officer's holding pressure on the hole where the arm was.
Yeah, so it basically sliced off at the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like,
you know how your sleeve has that seam?
Yeah.
That's what was gone.
Right.
From out.
It was literally his whole arm was gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you can't put a tourniquet on that.
No.
No.
But we did figure something out. But the police officer that was there first actually, in my opinion, saved his life, because he was there to, even the employees that were there, they knew exactly what to do. They had a little bit of training, first aid training. You're bleeding, you put pressure on it, and that's exactly what they did. So instead of having just 2 or 3 liters of blood on the ground, he could have bled out.
Right.
So actually, the people that on scene first pretty much saved his life. So so we get him up, and we're going to the truck. We're drilling, putting IOs in. We intubated him, which is a tube down the throat, and got a couple more IVs in the other arm. And we needed a helicopter, because where I live, we have corn and cows, and that's about it. So he needed to go to a trauma center, and he ended up going to Toledo, which is an 18-minute flight from where we were at.
Which probably felt like eternity to you.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I imagine.
So, and there's certain things that you look for when you're treating your patient. You look at their blood pressure and their heart rate and their skin color.
How old was he? About?
He's a teenager. Last year of his teens. Okay. So, I didn't think he was going to make it. I didn't. I saw his heart rate going up and his no blood pressure. I'm like, we need to hurry up, because he's not going to make it. And, we got the helicopter there, and then I'm like, how are we going to stop this bleeding, because he was still bleeding. So we carry pelvic binders, which are, when geriatrics fall, they have a tendency to break a hip.
Right.
So we put that around their waist to keep it together so the bones don't crunch, which hurts.
Sure.
So that pressure keeps it together, and it lessens the bleeding and stuff like that. So what we did is we put that around on his arm and packed it, sort of, and it stopped. Yeah, and it stopped.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then our helicopter came, and during the flight, they asked me to go along, because their first thought was, my first thought, he's not going to make it. So I went to do CPR, basically. And it happened to be Kim was working that day, which, she's my mentor.
Kim is a superhero nurse.
Yeah, yeah.
And those guys, I can't do your guys' job, but I admire that you guys do your jobs. I mean, it's just crazy what you guys do.
Yeah.
So you and Kim, then what?
Well, loaded him up in the helicopter, gave him some medication it's called TXA, to thicken his blood a little bit, so he would stop bleeding, per se. And during the flight, we had him on a vent. We didn't have anything else to do. We just kept giving him pain management. Even though he was intubated and knocked out, per se, we needed to keep him pain-free.
Sure.
So...
Well, yeah, I think there'd be a little bit of pain cutting off your arm.
Yeah.
Did they get the arm, too, though? Were they able to retrieve the arm?
We brought the arm with us. And the thing about that is...
If you just joined us, we're talking about a story where somebody cut their arm off by accident. Yeah. So it's, Did you break the arm? Yeah, we got the arm. Oh, I totally forgot what I was saying. I asked if you brought the arm, and yeah.
Right, we had.
But
so
you had
we had everything all done, and there was nothing else that we could do. And the last thing he said is, I just want to see my mom. And she actually showed up on scene, and
wow.
We had to make this decision. He needed to go now. And I try to let parents come in, but at this point we didn't have the time, and
Right.
he didn't have the time, so we had to get going.
Yeah.
And to this day, would I have made the same decision? Absolutely, because once we got him down to Toledo,
And Dana Stocky Baird says hi, Mia.
oh, hi, Dana
Dana, yeah, that's right.
from work.
Hi, Dana from work. Another super. Is she a
Oh, I missed-
paramedic too?
She was our aviation manager.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, we had everything done, vented. There's nothing else we could do for him in flight, and I'm like, I don't know what else to do. And there's two people that popped into my head, and one was you, and one was Tommy Norman. And I don't know why, but I'm like, okay, so I'm going to start praying. Healing power of Christ, and I'm like, and that's all I did till we got there. And he was actually in the ER for 15 minutes and went straight to OR.
Is that like fast?
That is amazingly fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they
Because we had him intubated, we had 3 IVs. He didn't even really need to go to the ER because we had everything done. But they were giving him blood and blood products and stuff like that, and putting art lines in and stuff like that. So
wow. So he got through surgery and he survived.
he survived.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
He's got a
Surprise.
true story to tell.
Yes, he does.
And what happened afterwards?
He, far as I know now, he has changed his life. He is going to church now. He's not doing things he shouldn't be doing, because there were some things that he was doing in his life that weren't appropriate, and that's probably why the accident happened. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
But nobody
That's not
knows.
important.
Yeah. But the important thing is he is going to have an amazing testimony.
Yeah, because he
to
should
live through that, he should have never have lived.
He should have died. Which goes to show you that we have expiration dates nobody really knows about, and I mean I know people that they've lived through. Like I have one friend who's had 5 or 6 different surgeries. I mean major surgeries, and they're still here, and it's like okay. So Aaron says Tommy Norman. That has to have been how you found us. Okay, so Aaron, here's the thing. Tommy was my #1 guest last year. I had her on my show 6 times I think last year. I need to get her back actually. Yeah, me and Tommy met. We haven't met in person, but Tommy's a great broadcaster. She has a very unique ministry, and mine is completely different. But we have such a common.
It levels me out. I get education, and then
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's like really into the healing thing, and
yeah. I'm a baby Christian, I guess.
yeah, she's an awesome lady. It's one woman I definitely want to meet in person for sure. And so here's the thing, that to me that was a miracle. What Mia shared that story. God has a definite plan for this young man's life, Kim says. And Kimberly and Dana said, wow, yeah. I bet you could actually, the story she's talking, this scene, Run Steve was the pilot on.
Yeah, it was her husband.
Oh, Kim's husband?
No, Dana's husband.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, Dana's husband was our pilot that night.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that until just now. Okay, I'm scrolling through it. Yeah, so I mean, that to me is an amazing. That's just why I call Mia a superhero, paramedic.
Because we don't even, when
Of
we're,
course you don't.
we don't think that way. We're thinking of
Trying to save a life.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me though, I could. Now I've had people say, as my background as a therapist, "Oh, there's no way I could ever do what you do," and you're probably right because you, or this, even what I do every day. People are, I can never do that. A lot of people, well, no, you're probably, unless it's God's gift. A lot of people try to do this, but there's like no fruit of it, and any fruit that actually comes from what we do is really the Lord's being merciful and His grace. So. You know, we don't do it for the money, actually. We do it for people like Mia and other people who we've met, you know, who, you know, our desire is to share the gospel, help people grow in their faith, you know, and mature in their faith. Because unfortunately, it's a sad state where you can go to many churches and say, hey, is there a Bible study here? And they'll say, nope. Is there a prayer meeting here? Nope. It's like, okay, what do we exist for? You know, I mean, what's the point? Like, kumbaya, bingo night? I mean, I could do that at assisted living with my dad, you know? So.
And, you know, with Periscope, I have I watch Tommy in the morning because she's on later, but I start with Tommy, and then we have Larissa and the Glory Chain.
I've met Larissa, too.
Yeah. So it's kind of, my whole day is filled with Periscope, but the word is all day long for me, and that's what's awesome. Yeah. You know, because you don't get that in, you know, when I left the Catholic Church, I was in between churches and trying to decide what I wanted, and that's when, you know, the Bible News Radio kept popping up on my phone. I'm like, what is this?
So Dawn says, but they have a yoga class. Yeah, I know, and they shouldn't. Don't even get me started on yoga, okay, people. You should not be doing yoga. I know that you think it's good for your body and the stretching and blah, blah. You can do your stretching, just don't do yoga. It's actually not good for you, spiritually speaking. I just got a thing on my phone. Oh, it's telling me to take you for a walk. What? No, I'm not going to take you for a walk. I already have 9,429 steps. I don't need to go for a walk right now. All right, so...
they didn't hear it.
Yeah, they didn't.
WALK.
Oh, no. More what they call Bible study small groups, but essentially it's reading the latest trending books. That's right, Angie. You're actually right. Yeah. And as you know, have you noticed, just put a 1 if you have. Have you noticed I don't promote trending books for the most part? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed I don't talk about all the so-called trending Christian people out there? There's a reason I don't. Because I don't resonate with most of them. Indeed, you can't separate the worshipful poses from the exercise.
Whoops.
I think Randall just... Here.
Ouch!
Why don't I go ahead and just hold the camera at Mia? Wait. I do this. There we go.
This way. There we go.
There, can we see you now?
There. I had to adjust a little bit.
I'm just going to call you Wilson.
Oh, for a second I thought this was wireless.
No.
No.
It's not.
So if you do that, I feel tall.
Right there. There's Mia. There's Bareface. There's Mia. There's Bareface. Woo, woo. We're doing a rap. Yeah, people. We have fun here on Bible News Radio. Oops. Okay, so let me ask you this, because you're here. You can be honest. You can tell us the absolute truth. What makes our show different than other people's on Periscope? Because there's a lot of
because you get into it.
There's Christian broadcasters on Periscope, a gazillion of them, and that's our fire thingy up there.
Smoke detector.
Mia's gonna check it after the show.
It's not, for some reason though, the camera's not updating now. I don't.
Sorry, if you're new to our show, this is Friday. This is Free for All Friday, just so you know, people.
We'll fix that later.
By the way, you have to comment, otherwise, if you're on Facebook, I don't know that you're there, just so you know. So we get into it. What do you mean by that?
The reality of it. You know, you don't hear that, like, from, well, churches. You don't hear that. Well, I never heard it in Mass, but, you know, the agendas that's out there. Everybody's trying to make it seem normal, and it's not, and, you know.
Oh, you are afraid of dropping truth bombs, ones that bring the rage from the left. Yeah, that's actually true. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I think that when Jesus said we need to occupy, right? We need to pray and occupy until he comes. We're supposed to be in the world, but not of it, right? We're supposed to be the light.
Yeah, and people don't get that nowadays. It's like Christ doesn't exist.
Yeah, if we're like the world, then why would the world be attracted to us if we're like the world? They're looking for hope.
Right. You should be looking, how am I going to get myself to heaven? What do I got to do? That's my goal. Now it's like, what kind of car do I want? Or what house do I want to buy? That kind of thing.
Amen. Well, you know, that's why, you know, I want to say to everybody in our audience, all you regular people, I need to be careful with some words. All you normal people, regular. I'm not sure the right word, but anyway, all you wonderful, sweet, and lovable people. I was telling a friend of mine today at pickleball that I had I had posted on my Facebook we needed a place to baptize Mia, and nobody commented on my post, but all these people at pickleball were like, "Did you find a place to baptize her?"
But if it was for a car or something, or a pair of boots or something, you'd get hundreds of responses.
Most of my friends are Christians and go to church, and a lot of my friends are they're here locally, and I'm like, okay. But anyway, so I was telling them about you, and I was telling them about what we're going to do. And I said, this is why I do what I do. Because to me, spiritual fruit, watching somebody mature, get an understanding, a light bulb moment about, oh my gosh, this is real. The Jewish understanding of the Word of God is not taught in your basic mainline church. But once you get it and you look at it and you understand it, it's like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense. You can be excited about your faith and be proud, not proud in a prideful way, but you can be confident, bold in your faith, and you can go, you know what, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to share the gospel with somebody. I'm going to share that Jesus loves them, that he died on a cross for my sin. Yeah, we're all sinners. But you know what? He rose from the dead too, and check this out. Let's look at the evidence for the resurrection. Let's look at all the atheists and the scientists and all these apologists who've actually studied the actual evidence for the resurrection, and then equip people with that information and say, hey, this actually this makes sense,
Right.
And I can feel confident about that. That's why being a Christian is awesome, because there's so much evidence for it. As Josh McDowell once said, and he wrote a book called Evidence Demands a Verdict. The evidence demands a verdict. Okay, what's your verdict? Yes or no? And we live in very, very exciting times, in my opinion. I mean, we do. I mean, just the nation of Israel being around, first of all, is awesome. But when the basics of your Christian faith aren't even taught in many places.
I didn't know how important or significant that Israel is. That was we never discussed it. So
No.
I know it's...
Yeah, most Christian churches don't even talk about Israel, which is the sad part, Right. They don't. I mean, it's like, why is Israel important? Because, first of all, how many other nations do you know that existed and then they didn't exist and now they re-exist?
Right.
I mean, just that alone right there is a thing, So anyway, that's kind of interesting. So there's a lot of stuff and all that. So Bareface hasn't said much today. He's been doing a wonderful job of letting Mia... It's hard to find a good Bible-believing and teaching church. Too much social agenda in coffee shops. I'm SSBG. I don't know your name. I'm going to look and see. Hopefully it's on there. Nope. RJ? Okay, I'll call you RJ. How's that? That's actually true. Okay, Melanie said, if you come to Pennsylvania, my church has a baptismal.
That's funny, because I was thinking about picking you up, Melanie.
The dispensing of historical biblical truth makes your ministry different. Oh, thanks, Pastor Garrett. That means a lot coming from you, because I've watched some of your stuff, and I think that you can't be confident unless you actually know stuff. Yeah, just so you know, we invited Melanie for this event. She can't come because she's got to work and make millions of dollars. But one day, Melanie, you're going to be here in this house and behind the microphone with us, I predict. And then Vicki Hankey, Vicki was also had an opportunity, but she's busy too. But yeah, we're gonna kind of do a little 50th birthday party late for me, but also make it more about Mia, because that's more important.
Meet up.
Most people don't realize that Jesus was a Jew. I'd say a lot don't, but a lot do. And those that do, many of them are anti-Semitic, which is the sad thing, right? They shouldn't be. But yeah. Do you want to say something, Bareface?
I can. It'll be off camera.
That's
I
okay.
would say, just to bug you one more time, that number 3 channel,
Yeah.
the gain on the top, the gray, just bring it down a little bit.
The very top one, the gray
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Bring it down. Okay, how's that?
Let's try that.
That good? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not listening to the headset.
Well, then you would know, because then anyway. Yeah. Let's go with that.
So Randall, I should say, if you're new, Randall is actually my husband of 26 years. We dated for about 2 years before we got married, and he is not a trained pastor by any stretch of the imagination. He's definitely gifted. He is a gifted Bible teacher, and definitely has he's got the pastoral gift of teaching for sure. And he's funny, but I wouldn't normally admit that. Cody said hi, Cody Sauter, and Christopher John Lynn said hi to you, Mia. She said, we are watching for you from work. There you go. You got some fans,
Yeah.
girlfriend. Did you let them all know you're on?
No, I didn't share it.
You're going to have to turn that up a little
No,
bit
she's like,
again.
no, I'm not going to share this show. I don't want none of my friends to see me
Stace,
here.
you're going to have to turn that up again.
Okay. How's that?
That's all the way, right?
Yeah. Do you want me to keep
Just,
it?
yeah, just a little back of all the way.
Okay. How's that?
I don't know yet.
No.
Oh, do I have to talk?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Now I have a question. You like the foot joke, right? Today, one of my memories, this was a funny thing. Okay, Tracy says it's better. One of my memories was when I had Jack Yost on the show and I told him the joke on the
I
show.
remember that.
I shared it today. Yeah, I did. All you foot haters, just so you know, you can listen to that joke all over again. It's on. If I ever die before all you people, that joke has to be said at my funeral. Just saying.
I ain't doing it.
We'll just play that clip of me saying it. That's all.
I have probably heard it more than anyone, so
Hey, but I changed the story.
I know.
I make it apropos. Hey, the other day I was at assisted living and I was doing cooking with me and Tina, but Tina didn't show up. My other friend, my new friend, showed up. The cook at the place where my dad lives, and so we were doing, and because it was kind of a last minute thing, because Tina, who normally does the cooking show, and asked me to be a volunteer, so I was like, hey, I'm a volunteer, I'm gonna mix stuff, do this, I'm doing this stuff. Anyway, we were making banana bread. So was it Angela? Is that right, Randall?
I don't know. I was not there.
Anyway, the cook this time, she was telling me, just put this stuff in there, put that in there. And so as I was making the banana bread for the ladies and my dad in assisted living, you know, I'm standing there and there's these women, they're expecting entertainment. And so I'm like, hey, I got a good joke I could tell you. And it was so funny. I told them the foot joke, and they were like, it was so funny because they're all like 85 and older, you know, and they're like, and so I was trying to adapt it to them, you know, and I was thinking to myself, should I say 1 foot in the grave, given that most of these people are very close to that, or no? But I did anyway, and it was funny. They all laughed. They thought it was funny.
What
I was like,
would you do for a punchline if you didn't use that?
No. I don't know, but hey, that was the best joke I ever heard at a conference, and it lives on forever.
And ever and ever and ever.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, if somebody wants to give me a better joke to share, then just saying. Okay, so Yo G. Wells says, I love that joke. My dad was always telling it. Have you heard Mel Tillis tell it? No, I haven't actually. No, I actually heard it. I heard this joke at a psychology conference of all places. It was actually a guy who got up and he was that's how he opened his speech at this I think it was for the American Psychological Association when I was just in grad school. But the guy that told it, he was super funny. I mean, he did it way better than I did. I've just kind of changed it over the years. You have any jokes? Go ahead. Go ahead, top that.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Seriously?
That's all I got.
Orange? Or orange who?
Aren't you glad I knocked on your door? Get it? I'm here. You know, I came here. Yeah, from down the road.
Turn it up.
Turn what up?
3 again. Just see the thing.
Okay.
We'll.
This is the joke that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Yeah, thanks, Melanie. This is a song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end. I know. And he was like, no, make it stop. Hey, we sing that well.
That was good.
We could harmonize that. We had a big debate one day if it was doesn't or
never
or
ends.
never. And
Song
Larry,
that doesn't end or never ends.
I know, we gotta find Larry and we gotta find Lamb Chop and Sherry. I think Sherry's.
I think
gone.
it's never because doesn't, is that correct in that grammar wise, that sentence?
I don't know. Sherry Lou's
never
one.
ends.
Or does it? Okay.
Never. Did you just Google it?
Of course it did.
Thank you, Google.
Oh, apparently there's on YouTube. There's a video of Lamb Chop singing it for 10 hours. So
Wow, 10 hours.
I'm sure it's probably just
It's
a
just
loop.
a loop.
Yeah.
So Marlene said, "Oh my God, that sounds good. Why did you guys stop?" Well, because the song, I guess the song
It
never
didn't
ends.
end.
Yeah, something you probably don't know about us is that me and Randall actually sing. Yeah, we do. Don't tell anybody. It's kind of a secret.
There's a whole band room in the other end of the house.
Yeah, we actually did little mini concerts for a while. It was short lived. Randall's gonna sing at church for Christmas, right?
Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
Oh no!
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was.
And this is a mature Christian show, people.
Singing it forever just because this is the song that does it.
That's funny because I think
Well,
I
that's
grew
it
up on
doesn't
that.
end there.
Yeah, see?
The title is the
Never.
song that never ends.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, that's the thing. They're giving us double messages. There you go, right there. See, now we
It's
don't
an
know.
agenda.
It's probably a little of both. It's kind of like Congress. Speaking of Congress, did you vote this year?
I did vote.
What was your voting like this week? Or did you
Was
vote?
it light? Well,
the polling place.
The polling
that kind
place.
of
it wasn't packed, but like I said, I live with corn and cows, so
Yeah. Are you, is your state blue or red? I don't know.
it's Ohio. It's red,
Okay.
Republican,
So Tennessee is red, too.
I think.
I mean, I'm
I
sure
don't
there
know.
were some blue counties.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a yawn. Pardon me. I played a lot of pickleball today. I played super good today, actually. Except for one game. One game, I just couldn't get the stupid ball where I wanted it. I played with Phil today. Yeah. Yeah. Never mind, that's all.
Because I know the inside story to that.
Yeah, we'll just leave it there.
Yeah, it's on the table.
So, okay. So, anybody have any questions for me? I think we're gonna go about 7 more minutes. We usually kind of go over a little bit on Friday because it's fun. I'm looking. Pennsylvania is blue. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Randall, do you have any questions for Mia?
Just going to say pretty much what I figured just looking at a map here. That, yeah, the metropolitan areas are blue. Toledo, Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati.
You know, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be interviewing a woman named Laura Dawn Moule. Or Moule. I'm not sure how to say her name. It's M-O-U-L-E. I don't know how to say that. But she wrote a book about Mother Teresa and Reflections of India, the spiritual journey of a beauty queen. And this is supposed to be a spiritual healing inspirational book. So that is that. We are on Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time for an hour, usually, except for Friday. We go a little bit over. And Bareface, my husband, he actually does Weekends in the Word with Bareface. Just kidding.
It's not called that.
It should be, though.
No,
Anyway. Anyway, and it's about, 7:30 in the evening, usually? Something like that.
yes.
So we're here every day, actually, but the Bible News Radio Show, we actually do every day. I interview guests a couple times a week when I'm in that mode. I'm actually currently doing a series called The Marketing of Homosexuality to America, which you can actually watch on our YouTube channel. All of it's there. I got to get back into that and stuff. So, and we have a lot of interesting guests. In fact, Kevin Sorbo is going to be my guest in a couple of weeks. So you guys know Hercules, and he was in God's Not Dead and all that. Kevin is going to be on our show again. It's going to be fun. Unfortunately, I can't get him on video. It's going to be audio only. But last time he was on my show, he said some stuff. This was like a bigger show. Like he would have been all over media because some of the stuff he said was so inflammatory. Because he's Catholic. No, he's not Catholic. Because he's conservative, and he is actually, how dare you be pro-gun, that type of thing. Cool. I'll follow you back. Okay, here we go. I'm going to follow you back. Wait, hold on. If I can view my profile without blocking you. Oh, James. Okay. Nice to meet you, James. All right. So, oh, yeah, there was a question. Hold on. Somebody asked a question. Angie did. Said, Mia, anything in your line of work or experiences that has ever challenged your faith? Angie wants to know that.
Sometimes. Unfortunately, you have to be a little kind of on the downside if you're Christian sometimes, And then you work with different people that are, maybe not Christian or don't believe in God or whatever. It's kind of, you don't want to push them, but you want to talk to them about it. But then they'll be like, well, this is a hostile work environment or, something like that. And I just don't want to, it depends on who it is too. But I actually, at Lifelight, I have tons of Christian friends. So
I would think that it would be difficult to do that job without faith, honestly.
It is. There was a period between after I left the Catholic Church and where I'm now, where everything just seemed like it was, falling apart. Nothing was working right for me. I was agitated all the time. And then, as soon as I started reading the Bible and praying, everything changed. Little things don't bother me anymore. What does bother me is, certain languages bother me. Not, even though I'll say it, I don't talk like a sailor, but, I throw out a whatever once in a while when I get mad, but then you got to remember you have to control yourself, and that's what would be hard at work. If you don't have that constant faith at work, it draws you away from it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. I think that in any job though, but especially when you're dealing with life and death all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dawn has a good question. Have you had an angel experience, just to revisit another show this week? Are you asking Mia? Yeah, because I shared mine yesterday. But have you had an angel experience, you think?
Well, I don't know. There had to be. Maybe on my my worst calls. It seems like there's little things that whisper in your ear maybe on what to do and how to maybe help that patient. I don't know. Some of the things that we have to come up with on how to cut people out of cars and get them out of the bathroom, you know, in confined spaces. It's like, where did these ideas come from, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe that would be a little whisper in the ear or something, you know.
I believe that. I mean, I think that God gives us thoughts.
Well, you know, like with the my one flight kid, you know, I'm sitting there trying to think of what to do now, and then visually see both of you. It was kind of probably like that screen over there. That's what I saw. So, and then instantly, okay, I'm going to do that, you know. And, you know, even the nurse was, now, Kim might have to say something about that, but she was, you know, praying also.
Sure.
So 2 people, and 1 in a cord, you know, 2 people in a cord, whatever, however it goes, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of Kim, I got your prayer request, and we will pray we'll pray for you after the show's over, for sure. And I'll tell Mia what you said. We don't want to make the whole world know what's going on. All right. It is now 1:15. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end the show. I know you're crushed, aren't you? But we're going to end, and tomorrow morning, if you are not on our text message list, text the term Bible News to 33222. Text that, and you'll get on my you'll get on my text message list. And there's actually another question for you. Okay, well, Cody, we'll let Mia answer that after I'm done. Get on our text message list, or go to BibleNewsRadio.com and join our email list. Don't forget, you can get the Saintology Bible study there free. You just gotta join the list to do that. It's no big deal. I only send out email once a week or so, give or take, depending on how my day goes or my week. Oh, and then the other thing is too, you guys know I you know, my side job is Legal Shield and Identity Theft ID Shield. So if you have not gotten your ID Shield yet, or Legal Shield yet, your sale, or how do I say that? Your service, no, that's not right. Your business, there you go, right there. What's the word? Anyway, your
Sport. Patronage.
Whatever. Anyway, if you buy it through us, it supports Bible News Radio, but also it really benefits you. Actually, you have it. You want to talk? You want to share your experience with Legal Shield or ID Shield? No. She's like, no. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just now getting things set up. So,
but she is a customer, just so you know. So, and some of you are.
Definitely the will thing. I want to get that done because.
Well, the will. Think about it, everybody. You guys need a will. I don't care who you are. Anybody over 18 years old, you need a will. You need to get your will done, and it needs to be done sooner than later.
Yeah, you could just go to the hospital for a headache and then, you know.
I had a friend go to the hospital for a checkup and died of a heart
It
attack.
happens every day.
Yep. So, in your line of business, you should definitely, if you have animals, you're single, you know, just because you're single or you don't think you need a will, you need a will. You need to will your cat, your dog, your goldfish, or whoever to take care of. And, you know, identity theft protection. Every day, you guys, I literally get at least 10 stories talking about identity theft and how people are being stolen. And you know what? I can tell you that I personally am thrilled with ID Shield because you get a notification on social media, you get your ID Shield vault, and you get your mobile app. It alerts you. You don't ever have to worry if somebody is, you know, messing with your credit, because you'll get alerted instantly. It's amazing. Yes, it's important to have. So yeah, Erin just signed on too. Her whole family. Erin signed on her whole family. She has little kids. She covered her kids like a good mom. Because you know what? Identity theft for babies and children is rampant. Over 1 million last year. 1 million kids had their IDs stolen last year alone. Last year alone. That's just in 1 year. You know, and it happens. And it's not just online identity theft. offline identity theft is just as big. It's actually a little bit more offline than it is online. It's a little bit deceptive because we're online. You think it's just online. It's not. Old-fashioned identity theft, people stealing paperwork and stealing mail. And I got my 90-year-old dad ID shield because he's on Medicare and he's in assisted living, and I don't care how Christian Tennessee is. You know what? His medical ID, all that stuff is out there for all these medical professionals to see, and you know what? He's covered. So anyway, so if you want to do that, go to the bit.ly/protectme. You can learn more there, or just contact me directly and I can set up a time to send you info and talk to you about it. Okay, Cody wants to know, Mia, how do you deal with rough calls?
After the call, if it was a bad call, I will actually go either wherever I'm at. I'll close my door and pray. Definitely go over the call, but I got to remind myself, I did what I could. It's in God's hands. I use God's hands to help people, but God is the one that actually does the healing or what have you. But that's praying is my big thing. And I don't necessarily, even if I'm going home or whatever, I don't have to close my eyes or whatever, even if it's just a little conversation with God, or that is my go-to thing.
That should be a question. Where in the Bible does it say that you have to close your eyes when you pray, people?
Right.
In fact, it actually says the exact opposite. It says, lift my eyes up to the hills from where my help comes. It actually advocates keeping your eyes open if you actually read God's word and look at it.
So the next time I'm probably staring at you, it's because I'm praying for you.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yep. Good to know. Well, I pray a lot in the car, so I'm never going to shut my eyes in the car. Wait, hold on just a second.
That's a good thing.
So, yeah. All right. Randall, do you have any comments or questions? You've been very quiet this hour, which is highly unusual.
Yeah, without a face to go with my voice, I feel.
I can change that.
No, that's all right.
We can just give you the camera.
Need one of those little buttons to have it turn.
Yeah.
Little
actually,
look into adding a third and see if the USB bus.
Aaron says I do both. Sometimes it's because I'm trying to drown out the circumstances around me.
Oh.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do too. I think that's kind of the point to do that.
And if it's something really bad, we actually do go through a debriefing afterwards. I mean, especially if it's a pediatric, definitely.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a little different where I'm at right now, because if you're not a Christian and you're telling me these things, I have a tendency to drown you out. But if you have a Christian background and I know it, it helps a little bit.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But that's just me.
Yeah.
That's a personal preference. It's not,
I always say stuff like, I'll take your counsel under advisement or something like that. For me, a person their walk needs to match their talk. If there's hypocrisy in what they do, if they're not who they are on camera versus off camera or behind the scenes in social media or whatever, then I go, that's it. You've already shown me who you are, and I don't need to listen to you. I need to listen to God, people. And actually, let me encourage you guys and just share this. Be very careful with who you listen to about God, because there's a lot of false teachers out there, and there's a lot of people masquerading as followers of Christ who will teach you stuff that has nothing to do with the Bible and or Christ himself. In fact, I was reading this morning, and I think it was Matthew 18, and it was Matthew 18. It was the parable of the vineyard and the denarii. And it was this, and I'm paraphrasing it, of course, because my Bible's over there, and I don't have it. I could look, actually. But anyway, the gist of the story is that the vineyard, the gardener, the guy who ran the vineyard, basically, he more or less said, hey, I need some workers. I'm going to hire you. And I'm going to hire you for a day. I'm going to hire you for a whole day. I'm going to pay you a denarii. And they're like, yeah, awesome. Let's do it. So they go out and they start working. And then near the end of the day, some other guy comes up and needs some work. And so the landowner says, hey, you want a job? He's, yeah, okay, I'll give you a denarii too. And the other workers get upset that God, or in this representation, it's God, that God awarded the first worker, to pay him a denarii for the whole day, and then the last worker who only worked an hour, God paid the same amount. The people get upset. Why do people get upset about that? Because it seems like it's an injustice, right? To us. But that's the point of the parable. The point of the parable is it's actually where your focus is. The focus isn't on God and his character and his grace and who he is as the one giving the good gift in the first place. And that's where believers get it wrong all the time. One of the things I see constantly in social media is everybody puffing up themselves, talking about themselves, how great they are. And it's like, you know what? If I see one more Christian talking about how awesome they are, or how great they are, or whatever, I just want to smack them. Because when they do that, they're dismissing the greatness of God, and all the glory needs to go to the Lord. Because we are nothing without him. He has our very breath in his hand. Any second, he could go like that, and you're gone. You're toast. But there's this arrogance in us innately, just because we have a sinful nature, to go, oh yeah, well, we're so awesome and great. We're going to do this. You know what the Bible says? Don't say that, because you don't know what a day will bring. And Mia knows that more than anybody, given what you work with, And so my exhortation is, be careful who you listen to. Make sure when you're reading the Word of God, you're looking at who God is, who Christ is, and not yourself. Because the Bible, even though it's great to say who you are in Christ, it's better to say who Christ is in you. He is the hope of glory. And ultimately, we're passing through here, right? We're on our way to a better place. He is the hope of glory. Without him, we wouldn't be going anywhere else. So, there you go. That's my little lecture of the day, and thank you for listening. So, anyway, okay, so tomorrow we're going to text you in the morning sometime, and then we're going to go to our undisclosed location. We're going to dip Mia in the water. That's what, I'll get some potato chips later, and we'll eat those, but we're going to take you to Andy's.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we are. Have you been there?
With you?
No, we went to Culver's.
Oh.
Andy's is way better.
Okay, so we might have to do both.
It's just as good. Yeah, it is. Okay, anyway.
And that's in Toledo, Ohio, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. Our studio is moved there. Just like that. So, do you have any comment, Randall?
Well, sure, why not? I mean, I'm the faceless voice, and I'm not going to reposition the camera or anything like that. But,
I'm right here.
No, that's okay. But yeah, what you said, Stace, about who Christ is in us, and early in the show you referred to Romans chapter 6. This is, don't you know, as many as are baptized into Christ are baptized into his death. Conform to his death. Just as Christ was raised from the dead, we should walk in newness of life. And some people look at that newness of life, oh, okay, my sins are forgiven, and I'm, and that's the new that I can walk in that. But, Paul goes on to describe in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 what that new life is.
This is the message that you're not getting tomorrow. He's giving it now.
I'm giving it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, this is forever.
Randall would preach for a whole hour, but Mia would be standing there in the water like this.
If it was the river, we.
Anyway, yeah.
No, go ahead. It's fine. We love you.
Anyway, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, I think it's verses 15 and 16. Paul says that the love of Christ constrains us, compels us, or has a grip on us, basically, because we determine that if one died for all, then all died. And he died for all, that those who live should live no longer for themselves, but for him who died for them and rose again. That buried with Christ, identified in his death, as many as are baptized into Christ were baptized into his death. It's more than just a metaphorical and symbolic thing. There's an actual thing happening in the spiritual, that, as he rose from the dead, we also should walk newness of life. It's different, because the Christless life is about, there on social media, how great I am, and about our own ambitions and making a name for ourselves. But a new life in Christ, is a different kind of life. It's a whole new life. It's living for his glory and making a name for him. Yeshua said, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify you." No, he said, "Glorify your Father which is in heaven." So,
Yeah.
It's a whole different economy. Walking newness of life is a different economy. It's the world says good often is evil, actually, and vice versa. And it's the artist Ken Medema had a song called "Flying Upside Down," which basically talked about that from the world's perspective, we're flying upside down.
Well, I just want to say to everybody publicly, Mia has been a blessing to us, and this is this is why we do Bible News Radio.
That's an understatement.
Honestly, to see people grow in their faith, to walk in faith, to be obedient in baptism is a big deal. And I've had the privilege of discipling Mia for a number of months, behind the scenes. So,
saving one heart at a time.
I know. I just have to give you a hug.
I am standing up.
I love you.
Love you too.
So, I'm glad that you're here. And, yeah, she wasn't standing up. Got to work on that
The
that
booster
lying
seat?
issue.
Oh.
Yeah, you shouldn't lie like that. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's what makes what we do what we do. Oh, look at that! He made a full screen of us together. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully tomorrow I won't cry through it, but whatever.
We'll be in the water. Nobody will know.
No, nobody will know. So
Tears of joy
yeah.
and happiness.
Well, it is actually. Mm-hmm. It is. To me, it is.
It's excitement.
Yeah.
It's like I can't even explain it. It's awesome.
Well, you know what's interesting is, there are people that think that doing what the Lord said isn't important, right? I mean, let's just be honest. But I will tell you something honestly. When I got baptized, it just sealed my commitment. It was like, okay, this is real now, okay? When I got married, this was the other thing. When I dated Randall, I knew I was going to, God told me the first date we had that he was going to be my husband. But when I got married, we stood in the church. We gave, we said our vows 26 something years ago. After the pastor, pronounced us husband and wife, and, we kissed each other as husband and wife, there was something completely different. There was literally something that shifted, and I'll never forget it, because I remember going, wow, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I felt when I finally realized, I don't have to do things the way the Catholic Church was doing. It's just so different, and you can't even describe the feeling. Overjoy, I don't know what it is. When it's just like a light bulb, and it's actually just like a click. Mm-hmm. It's weird. Yeah. Weird, great. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like waking up from the longest dream.
How real it seems until your love broke through.
Yeah.
Keith Green song. But yeah, I know. There will be something different. You will definitely feel something different. And then, like I said, when I got married, it was like, wow, there is something different there. It's something that's blessed. People don't realize that God does bless what He tells us to do. He will bless it, and your life will just change forever. So there you go. Aaron says freedom. Yeah, I think so. I think there is a freedom there.
Breaking the chains that bind us.
I think so. So, okay, now we've gone an hour and a half, which is fun, which is great.
We started late, so an hour and 25.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. We still have our hardcore Christian brothers and sisters with us in the room, so that's kind of cool. You guys are pretty cool. It still blows me away. You guys hang out like for the whole show. It's like, wow.
Oh, like on Periscope?
Yeah. No, on Facebook too. There's been people. Do you know that this week alone we got 15 new likes on our Facebook page?
Awesome.
So, and I mean, we're not advertising. I stopped giving Facebook money. Okay, somebody just subscribed to our Gmail.
They wouldn't take your money anyway.
It's Friday Party, yeah. So there you go. So that's it. So we told you about the Israel package. We told you about Legal Shield. We told you about Ariel. We told you you can donate to our show if you'd like. But yeah, so there you go. All right. So with that, as I always end every show, be bold, people. Stand up and go with God. Because He loves you. Go make a difference. Because you never know. You could be that person to save that one little starfish from dying a painful death, like Mia is.
Superstar?
Yeah.
Superhero
paramedic.
Yeah.
So, oh, you're back, Melanie? Okay, well, we're leaving now. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.